Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Beth Ann. I have not been keeping up with BookTube, like I said optimistically a month or so ago that I thought I would be able to, but you know what? The summer's coming up and maybe I'll be able to make some more videos then. I also have not been reading very much. I think I've maybe finished like 3 books in the new year because my job has me very busy. So that's life these days. So I wanted to just hop on and talk about one of those books that I finished in the past few months, which I managed to read for a book club, and that is Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. I read it on my Kindle, so I don't have it to hold up. And I liked this book overall, mostly because I really loved Emily St. John Mandel's writing style. She has a very dreamlike quality to me, which I remembered from Station 11 that I listened to on audio about 10 years ago, and here's Pookie, inevitably. And that dreamlike quality was still very there in her writing, so I find her writing just like very beautiful to sort of sink into. And Sea of Tranquility was very short, which I also liked, but that didn't work out quite as well as it does with other authors. I feel like the book just kind of felt unfinished. And I've read other short books lately that didn't leave me feeling like that. Like Becky Chambers' Psalm for the Wild Built is the first thing that comes to mind immediately, and I read that last fall. So this one just felt sort of unfinished. It felt like she was trying to go farther and cover more ground, maybe dig into some characters more. Like it just felt like there was a lot that she meant to do that she didn't do. Because it's not like I expect my stories to be neatly packaged up or anything. Like that's fine if many of the plot lines are unfinished within a story, but it needs to feel like a deliberate choice that the author made, and it doesn't feel like a deliberate choice to me in Sea of Tranquility. Maybe I should just back up for a second. So in this book, we're following a few different characters at different points in time. And I try not to give any spoilers, because even though there's information on the back of the book, and even though I'd read like the back of the book, you know, the little blurb, I was still like pleasantly surprised by some of the things that happened in the story. So I'll try not to go into too much detail, but yeah, so we're following several characters in different points in time. And then there's one character who sort of pulls the whole thing together because he's exploring anomalies in time. And the characters were all really great for like the first half of the book. It was like, oh, I'm convinced that these are real people. I'm really invested in what happens to them. And then that one character who actually ended up being sort of the linchpin of the whole novel just wasn't a character to me. He was like a two-dimensional little person. And Mandel tried to like give his backstory and like in the same, I mean, really to the same extent that she did with the other characters that I found more convincing, but it just was not convincing. Like I did not understand this guy's motivations. He made like the biggest, most consequential decision of his life seemingly for no reason. And even like the reason that he gives, like he does give a reason. I think just kind of in his internal narrative, he gives a reason and it makes no sense in the context of the character. Like there was just nothing to support sort of these big decisions that this character was making. And so I was just very unconvinced by that. It didn't feel like a good characterization. I think that contributed to the unfinished feeling that I had with the novel, where it's just the whole story depends on this guy making some key decisions, and the justification that we're given and sort of the understanding of the character that we're given just does not make those make sense. So I really appreciated the story. I really enjoyed it. And it was the sort of thing, and partly because Mandel's writing is so good, that I finished reading the book and I was like, oh, that was amazing. I loved it. And then I kind of slept on it overnight and I was like, wait a second, I really didn't love that. That drove me crazy. And so then it kind of fell apart. So that was my experience with Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. I'd be really curious who else has read it and what you thought about it, particularly the issues that I just brought up. I would like to read more of her books. I really loved Station 11 when I read it 10 years ago. So I will give more of her books a try, but I was definitely disappointed by this one. So that's what I have for today. I will say my usual thing of I hope I will be back with more videos soon, and we'll just see how many months it takes me this time, but fingers crossed. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.